Hello, welcome back. I am so excited to share with you, to review some of the processes that we used to design in a certain way this week in Tayasui. So the premise that we set up this week was that we were going to play with creating our own prints after any inspiration we want. So I remember some people in the class did a feather theme with gray and black. Another student did something with hearts. And the thing is, you'll always hear me reiterate, more important than any kind of rule is more important that something catches your eye and excites you and you get caught up in the idea. So I had these origami stars that I love to make in these colors, and they just gave me they were just a random, loose, instant inspiration. And I decided I was going to make a print inspired by them. Now I'm showing you the finished, but I'm going to show you the processes we explored. But before we even start, I'm also going to show you the finished. Of course, when we were in class, we didn't have the finished ahead of time. And this is just an inspiration. Again, there's many ways this can go. But what we're going to go over today is some ideas you can use to explore making a print. Everyone approached it differently because, it's about following your own adventure. But then the other thing we're going to do after we create our print idea is we're going to take our croquis and multiply it on the page. I'll show you this today in today's video. And then you can use it to make some clothes. I don't think anybody did 4 except me, as in 4 finished girls. And they weren't this finished when we finished the class. I added the prints later. All I did was draw the basic shapes of the clothes with no colors at all because we ran out of time. So that's the kind of thing I want you to know. You don't have to take it this far, but you're definitely going to learn some key techniques today. Number 1 being an idea for print design, a way to think about prints, patterns, and then B, a way to lay stuff out. So, and these are by no means the only rules. They're just ways you can start thinking. So with a printed pattern, we didn't even talk about in reality how you would engineer a print into repeating tiles, blah, blah, blah. No, what we wanted to do was take an inspiration and translate it into a motif through our own art, right? So I'm going to reuse the same example, I think. Yeah, slightly at least. So one thing we did was we took, you would choose a color, let's say. You can draw with any tools you want, okay? We have pencil, pen, brush pen, marker, chisel tip marker, crayon, acrylic, watercolor, etc. Everyone played with whatever they wanted to. But I'm going to reiterate what I did. So, and the tool that I used is really cool too, so I want to share it with you. It's one of my favorite tools. Don't worry if you don't have Apple Pencil. I think you do though, but if you don't, just use your finger. But when I click on this area right here, whoops, this menu shows up. So right when I select it, there's patterns, there's letters, and there's shapes. So make sure you select the pattern tool, and I always do this one. Now you can't see it very well right now because it's yellow, so let me make it black. It'll be easier for you to see. There's all these different patterns. They're all super cool. You can do any of them. But I chose this one because I wanted to introduce you to this tool. It looks like watercolor. You see how uneven it is? So the way that tool works, when I select it, is if I make a shape, it creates a dotted outline. Did you see that dotted outline? And when I close my shape, it looks watercolory. And I just love it. So I wanted to make sure I taught it to you guys because I use it a lot in my fashion illustrations. And then I was inspired by these colors. So you might find something in your room or your house right now, or your imagination, or in a piece of art, anything. Okay, but let's say I'm thinking some kind of blue. I'm going to use a different kind of blue today. But I was thinking about these stars. Now today I'm a different person than the day I did that video, so things are going to come out different. And I wanted to use, I know I wanted to use brown. You know what? I'm going to use darker brown. I'm going to use bolder colors today. And then I wanted the stars to feel loose and happy. And I knew that I wanted the stars to be different sizes. And also, please remember that, what was I going to say? Sorry. Oh, that the colors you choose are going to be the colors of your fashion collection, right? So think about a color palette. There's no hard and fast rule, but sometimes you want to just use 3 to 5 colors, maybe even just 2, you know. But don't make it so busy that it makes it too much work for you to just enjoy the process. So maybe 3 colors. And you may not know what those colors are until you're already in the process, right? Because as you're working, you're going to get ideas. Okay, so I decided like this is my color palette, okay? If there's something I don't like, remember I can undo it by tapping. I can redo it by 3-finger tapping, okay? And now here's the other tool I wanted you to learn as part of this print process. So this is a print concept. When I say print, you know, I mean printed fabric, right? And all over printed fabric that you can cut and sew. Kind of like this kimono I'm wearing today. But so check this out. I want you to play with this. So if you like this, first of all, why don't you save it? Okay, save it to your camera so that you always have a record of it. But the other thing now is actually, I have another idea too. Let me try something here. I don't even know if it's going to work. Duplicate. Okay, see how my drawing is on this second layer? It's not on the base layer. Yours might be. I don't think it will be because I think it defaults here. Email me, text me, message any question you have about any of this. But on this layer, I see the word duplicate. Right, when I tap on the gears, watch, I'll show you again, the gears, I get duplicate. What happens if I click duplicate? Ah, that's what I thought. Okay, I get a new layer with the same pictures. Now, to be honest with you, I didn't use this yesterday. Yesterday, I did all my work on one layer. But I would love to suggest you to create a second layer that you duplicate. Just a thought, just something to play with, just an idea. And watch this, I'm going to teach you a new tool. You ready? Okay, the tool is this razor tool. You see this like an X-Acto blade? Select. Okay, nothing happened. Select it again by tapping it. Okay, I selected it. I'm going to tap it one more time. See this, the question mark shows up? Clicking that. I'm going to show you how this tool works. How does it work? Is you outline a shape and it will copy it so you can paste it somewhere else. It'll cut it out and put it somewhere else. Another thing you can do, hang on, oh, the order is wrong. You can cut a piece of a shape out and move it. I'm going to show you, so don't worry. You can select, tap the whole drawing to select it. I didn't even know that. Okay, I'm going to have to show you something. Duplicate, move with 2 fingers to duplicate. Okay, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Okay, so I'm going to show you a few ways to play with a print. Take some deep breaths. Sorry, I get so excited and I hope I'm not overwhelming you. So one thing I can do is select a shape, right? And then just move it somewhere else. Ta-da! Awesome, right? I can even, oh my gosh, I'm in love. Oh my gosh, I don't know what to say. Okay, well, I'm going to put it here. But there's something else you can do. You can select a shape. Hang on. Okay. Now, the only reason that you still see this shape here is because one of them is on the lower layer. Just to prove it to you, I'm going to tap the lower layer and touch the eyeball, and it's going to disappear. If I touch it, it comes back. Okay. If this layer weren't here, I would have simply moved this without having one stay below. But watch this. If I select the same star, let's do a different star. If I select the red star and touch it with 2 fingers, it duplicates itself. Do you see what that means? Means every time, oh, not anymore. Let me undo for a second. Every time, if I drag it with 1 finger, it moves. Okay. If I drag it with 2 fingers while it's selected, oh, not working. Okay, let me try. Let me do a new one. Oh, I know why it's not working. Sorry. Let me show you. Look at my layers. I'm working on the under layer. So the color that the star that I dragged is behind this pink one. Let me undo that and show you the difference when I work on the layer that's on top by selecting this layer. I'm gonna select the star. Drag it with 2 fingers means that it keeps like copying itself. Do you see what I mean? That it's copying itself, it's multiplying itself. Every time I move it, it makes another one. Okay. Oh, and what just happened here? Did you see how it got bigger? I'm going to show you how it got bigger. Again, you don't have to do any of the things I just did. But like, let's say you drew 1 feather. Using this tool, you could take that feather and you can make it, whoops, let me do this again. Sorry. I don't know which layer my star is on. This star is not on this layer. It's on this layer. You're never going to forgive me. Okay, let's try something else. Okay. On this layer, I have a red star, so I'm going to select the red star again. And I'm going to take 2 fingers and make it, whoa, I can't believe this. What's happening is, why isn't it showing up? Because the red star is not on this layer again. Okay. Forgive me, girl. Okay, I'm going to select the layer that this star is on. When I pick it up, I can make it bigger and I can make it smaller. And then I can also tap it with 2 fingers and get more and more. Whoops. It just unselected itself. Okay, and then, excuse me, I'm going to select this one. I better look at my layers because I'm not sure. Yeah, that's not really there. Okay, hang on. Yeah, I might want to keep my layer menu so I can make sure that I'm selecting using the layer that the shape is actually on. This is actually more complicated than what I did the other day because when I worked the other day, I only used 1 layer. So I think I'm going to do that for you now to keep it more simple. So the point being, select. Once I select it, I can drag it by itself. Or I could drag it with 2 fingers. When I do with 2 fingers, it should copy itself. See? Yeah. You see that? And when it copies itself, I start to get multiple surprises. So let's say now I'm going to take the blue one. And oops, I just copied the whole page. That was an accident. Okay, let's say I take this blue one. And again, it could be a feather. It could be a heart. I can make it smaller. And then I can tap it with 2 fingers. Wait. I can rotate it into different positions. I think I should, yeah, 2 fingers should allow me to drag it. You know, and you can just play. You can screenshot if you want and save to camera roll if you want to have lots of versions to play with of your print idea, so you don't have to just marry yourself to one. Don't hesitate. Follow your impulse, follow your creativity, follow your heart, your taste, the things that inspire you. And actually now, if I go back to this other layer, I can still select, for example, this brown. I think this brown, invalid action. Oh, because I had turned off the layer. Let's see. Okay, so let's say this is my new print. Okay, that's the point. And if I wanted to, I could still be adding some elements at the same time. Let's say you wanted to take a brush pen and add some, why didn't that show up? Let me see. Let's say I want to add some red. Why isn't that showing? Huh, I don't understand why that wouldn't show up right now. Very confused. Sometimes if my app is acting strange and I want to make it disappear, like sometimes I'll close it and reopen it. But you can see now we have a totally different print. Okay, so let's say my new print is inspired by this. So now I've like, hi everybody, this is my print inspiration. This is my color palette, and these are my motifs. You know, it's based on stars. Okay, Laura. Oh, I know why it wasn't drawing. My lock, there's a lock here. You can lock it or unlock it. I had it locked. I'm going to unlock it, and I'm just going to do one more. Ooh, remember I was talking about doing squiggles or something? Like, let's say I wanted to add some little green circles to this print to make it, I don't know, busier. I don't have to, but I could. And then this could be my print. Okay, cool. So that's my new print. So step 2, I'm going to make, see how long is this video? Okay, step 2, I'm going to it's all going to be in one video. So now you've developed a print, any idea you want of a print idea. I don't like the polka dots. Okay. Now, technique number 2 that you're going to learn. We're going to put croquis on this page. So what we did was we went to our camera roll. So top of the page, 3 dots, right? Hang on. You have your layers. Don't use the base layer. I'll tell you why later. Make sure you're using the second layer. Base layer is where you can pick like your paper color and stuff. Pick a layer, pick the wheel. Okay, actually we don't need the wheel yet. Go to the top where there are 3 dots and select the upload. Okay, it's the square with the arrow coming down into it. Go to your photo. Now, unfortunately, I don't know what kind of junk I have on here. I want to get to my croquis doll. which shouldn't be, oh, it's been a whole week, hasn't it? Let me find, it was a week ago. Time fly. Here we go. So I chose a croquis girl. Here she is. Oh, but no, I had actually cropped her. So I'm going to delete this. What? Oh, I just exit. Okay. Yeah, actually, your croquis girl, when you upload her, let her be cropped. It's kind of nice if you crop her ahead of time. Where's my cropped girl? Meaning I cut away all the extra things around her. This must be her. Oh, yeah. Okay, so what do? I did a check mark. It won't stay unless I put a check mark. Okay, if I want to get rid of it, I click X. Just notice that when you're putting it, you can make it any size you want. So you could work really big girls across the page. I chose to work with smaller girls. Smaller sketches do go more quickly sometimes. It's up to you though. And then I did the check mark. Now watch this. We're going to use some tools that we already used before. Okay, here's my croquis girl, right? Go to the eraser. Click the eraser. And now I have an eraser. I can make the eraser very opaque, yes? And I can make the eraser very big. I'm going to make it big right now because look what I'm going to do. I'm going to erase all around the croquis. If I didn't crop her in advance, which I didn't, maybe you will. Since I didn't crop her in advance, I'm just going to erase around her. Okay, croquis girl, done. Now, what if I want more of her, right? So what I'm going to do is, to duplicate her, I come to my cut out tool again, which is going to become a good friend to us. I'm going to cut her out. Now remember, if I take one finger, she's just going to move, okay? But if I take two fingers, she duplicates. I get to 2, 3. You could do 3 girls on a page. You could have girls overlapping a little bit. You could have a whole bunch of girls. It's up to you. One of the things I was talking about in class is how fun it is sometimes to have a lot of girls to dress, because you can do pants, skirt, dress, leggings, bell bottom, you can do more options. Don't feel like you have to do it all in a day. This is something you can use again and again and again, which is why the first thing I'm going to do is save this to my camera roll so I can use it again and again, right? Awesome. Now, while I'm at it, I'm going to put my name on my page and date, because super fun to keep. Okay, now I can start doing clothes. But she's very black, right? So what I can do is, I'll show you what I mean by black, is that if I start sketching clothes on her with my pencil, let's say, they don't show up too well. It's like they're competing with how dark she is. So what do? I go to my layers, and I'm going to take my layer, click the gear, and make it sheer. As sheer as I want. So how did I do that? When I click the gear, I get this menu, and I can adjust the opacity from 100% to less and less. If it's too sheer, you won't be able to see her at all. But actually for the case of this example, I think I'm going to do it lighter than I did it last week. Okay? Now, I can start sketching clothes here. But why not use a new layer so that I could sketch the clothes and my croquis will still stay clean? That means I could even do 5 outfits on this layer and then make a new layer with 5 more outfits and make one layer disappear. This is like a lot of different ways I can work this. Not to overwhelm you. Don't worry. Just have your chain of girls is the most important thing. Another little trick I want to do is go to my camera roll. I'll be done soon, Angie. Go to my recent photos and bring my print swatch in. I have a few variations. I think I'm going to go with this one. Press the, put my print over on the side and check mark. Now I have my print right next to my girls so that I can think about my print while I'm creating her outfits. But I can also come to this razor tool, cut out this swatch. I don't have to do this. It's just something I can do that's super fun. Take the 2 fingers so it duplicates and like, oh no, didn't work. Hang on. 2 fingers is supposed to duplicate. Let me try it one more time. There we go. And start putting the print all over the page. Now I don't have to do that at all. I don't have to. I just want to. Because it's super fun. That's why. It's busy. It's very busy, but it's fun. So, and I might add a title to the page, which you can see in the example that I did. Something like Summer 2021, right? Okay. And then you get to choose whether you want to use a pencil or a pen or what, and start creating some clothes, some silhouettes based on like how you want to use the print. And you can also like create some simple little faces or details. Maybe these dresses have puffy sleeves. Now I'm drawing pencil lines to design my clothes. But I don't have to, you know what I mean? And I'll show you some other ways to create clothes. So I'm tracing my croquis, so like the body's already there. I could give her boots or sandals. I can play with that too. Another way I could design with her, if I don't want to draw pencil clothes, I'm going to draw one more though. I'm going to do a pantsuit. Okay, and all the while I'm thinking, oh, these are going to be created in my print, or maybe colors from my print mixed with bits of my print. It's really up to you, right? So this is if I'm sketching with lines. That's one way you can approach it. By no means is there any rule except exploring. The best thing is getting inspired in the moment, and whatever happens, happens. And remember that we're going to have lots of opportunities to do this in class every week, okay? If you come up with questions, jot them down on a piece of paper because they're great questions to bring to class, and we can all talk about them together. Oh, I'm going to give her a belt. Okay, well, so one way is to work with drawing clothes shapes, but another way you can design also is to come over here and take your watercolor tool, remember? But pick a color from your palette. Now, how can you pick a color from your palette? Here's a trick. Take your pen, go to your colors. You see that? That thing that just popped up, that's a color picker. If I let go, oh, usually, yeah, that color shows up here. So I could just design like, sorry, that was a mistake. Undo. I could literally trace the shape of a shirt and it'll color in itself. And the color of a pair of bicycle pants and it will fill in itself. And then I could come to the red. See how it's selected? That's because I touched it and then I kept my pencil down. The color shows up here. And now I could add like a diagonal stripe to this. Oh, I don't like the way that looks. I'm going to select the mask tool so that my so my stripe shows up on top. And I'm going to do like some inserts on these athletic pants that match my print. right? I'm going to use the brown that I had used before and maybe make a halter top with pink. Hang on, how do I make it? Trying to select the pink, but it's not working this time. Let's see. Pink. Yeah. Pink tutu. All right. Now the other thing I wanted to show you that I didn't show you yet is skin tone. So one way I like to collect skin tones is to drag to the orange. And then you can get any skin tone from like a creamy pale to a darker brown. You pick any color you want for a skin tone. I love having skin tones in my palette when I'm doing fashion because my favorite thing to do even before I draw the clothes is a lot of times to just get the skin tone for the girls, because I feel like that kind of brings them to life before I dress them. I hope I'm not overwhelming you. It's just, gosh, we talked about more than I thought we would. You're not expected to memorize any of this, just to get introduced to it. That's all. So this girl can have skin tone, and this girl can have skin tone, and this girl. And if you start but don't finish a group, like we might work on them together in class next week, or we might just start fresh in class next week. Just let your sketchbook be a play space. Now, if I want to fill in skin tone where I already had pencil, that's another thing I can do, right? Coloring in my pencil lines, almost like I created a coloring book for myself. You know, that's really cool. And then finally, over here, I might do the whole croquis with skin. I hadn't thought about this, but I guess it's possible if you want to play with like drawing your girl first, just as like almost like she's a Barbie or something, and then pick a color from your palette and maybe dress that. I don't have any idea yet. Oh, maybe it's an asymmetrical shirt with with an asymmetrical skirt, some kind of a dress. And then finally, I'm gonna let you go, promise. But I might want to take a colored pencil with colors from my palette. Hang on, like this. How do I get my pink back? Here it is. And maybe I want to practice drawing the pattern all over my clothes. Here's the pink stars. Maybe all these clothes are going to be the print, right? And then there's yellow in the print. So then I put the yellow stars. Even if I'm just sort of vaguely putting them. So right now I'm doing my print, but I decided to do with the blue as a background. But it could be white is the background, like my original idea, right? Just kind of show little impressions of what your print was. Then I had some brown stars, didn't I? Yes, I did. Brown stars, brown stars, brown stars. What else do we have? Oh, I didn't represent the red stars yet. Okay, I can represent the red stars. Oh, there, the red. Okay. All right, so using colored pencil on top of that gouache shape tool is a lot of fun. And maybe I want to give her like fun red wigs or hair bows or makeup. You know, this is something you could go on for hours if you felt like it. I just wanted to show you, I know, and I showed you more than you probably ever wanted to know in a day. Showing you different tools. And the more time I spend, the more I can spend just adding and adding details to this. But hopefully this gets you inspired, shows you how we can do multiple croquis. And remember, anytime you want to, you can add a new layer and draw like on top of this. And when you use a new layer, it means whatever's underneath kind of stays safe and doesn't get marked up anymore. Sometimes after I draw a skin tone or something, I'll come back with a pencil and add details, lines, or even shadows. If you have Apple Pencil, you get really quick and easy shadows, which can add drama. We'll talk more about shading in the upcoming weeks, but I hope that this is fun for you. I can put like very simple facial features or not. Sometimes you just want to get a mood, you know? And that's it. I hope you have fun. Whatever remainder of time you have, whatever you've got now, maybe just keep rolling with it for another half hour while you're still feeling the flow. And I can't wait to meet up with you again in the classroom. Thank you so much. Bye.